Hi everyone, it is Patrick. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm doing a super exciting recipe today. I don't think you're ready. Today, I'm actually not making a drink. Like, that's shocking. Buckle in, it's gonna get wild. I am still sticking within the Starbucks realm, and we're actually making a super sweet treat. So today, I'm going to show you all how you can make Starbucks pumpkin bread at home. The pumpkin bread at Starbucks is literally like my favorite food item that they have. It is my go-to. I love getting it like year-round. Like, it's not just a fall thing for me. It just never misses. It's always a hit. But sometimes I just don't feel like going to Starbucks. I needed a really good recipe to make at home to satisfy that craving. So I actually did film a DIY Starbucks pumpkin bread video like 2 years ago, and it was good, but like all things, I think it could be better. I think I could do a better job. I think I found a recipe that looks a little bit better, a little bit closer to like the original, so why not try it? So I will have the full recipe linked down below. I got it from this blog. What's the blog's name? One sec. I need to give credit where credit is due. Oh, I don't know how to say it. Okay, the Cafe Sucre Paris. I did not take French, I took Spanish, so there we go. But I will have it linked down below. That has like all the measurements. We love pumpkin bread in the fall, and it's actually super easy to make. You will see here that there's no fancy equipment required, very little steps, just like a few ingredients. This is perfect for like a beginner baker. Like, this recipe is super easy to make, and it's a lot more affordable than buying like individual slices of pumpkin bread. That can get pricey very quickly. So let's go ahead and get started on this recipe. So the first thing you are going to need to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So our oven is preheating, and the next thing you're going to need to do is grab your loaf pan. I think this is like 9 by 5, I think. So I'm just going to spray this with some baking spray. I'm actually gonna do it over the sink so I don't make like a big mess. But yeah, just coat this with baking spray, or you could do this with like butter and flour. This is just a lot easier, so I like doing this. Okay, our pan is completely coated with baking spray, and I'm going to put it over a baking sheet lined with foil. This will just make cleanup a lot easier if anything does happen in the oven, like some spillage or some overflowage. That shouldn't happen, but if it does, we don't want it to like burn in the oven, so that's why we put it on this little baking sheet. So I'm just going to set this aside until we need it. So the first thing that we are going to combine are the dry ingredients. So you are going to want to get like a medium or a large bowl and a sifter. Okay, so the first ingredient we are going to add to the sifter is some all-purpose flour. And like I said, all the measurements will be in that blog post that I have linked down below. And I will have all of the things I used in this video linked down below as well. So to help this pumpkin bread rise, I'm going to add some baking soda and some baking powder. Loves it. So to bring all the spice into this recipe, I'm going to add some pumpkin pie spice. This has all the fall spices that we love, like cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, all that good stuff combined into one easy package. They did all of the work for us, so thank you to whoever did that. And then just because cinnamon is like so good, we're gonna add some extra cinnamon to make this a little bit extra spicy. And then to really help bring out all of those spicy flavors, I'm going to add in some salt. This doesn't make it like salty, it just helps make it taste spicier and like pumpkinier. Okay, so all of our ingredients are in the sifter, so now I'm just going to like sift it. Woo! So just to make sure that all of this is combined, I'm just going to whisk it very quickly. The sifter did most of the work, so we're just doing a little bit of work here. Okay, so all of our dry ingredients are ready. Now let's get going on the wet ingredients. So the first thing we are going to put into the mixing bowl are 3 large eggs at room temperature. I cannot stress how important that room temperature piece is. Just whenever you're baking, be sure that any like cold ingredients are brought to room temperature. You just need to leave them out like an hour or 2 before you start baking. And you are going to give the 3 eggs a quick whisk. So the eggs are all mixed together. Now the next thing we are going to add to the bowl is some vegetable oil. A lot of cakes or breads use butter, but this uses oil, and let me tell you why. Things are so much more moist when you use oil versus when you use butter. I don't make the rules, that's just the way it is. So if you want your pumpkin bread to just come out with like really moist, really just like the texture, you know what I'm talking about, then you need to use oil over butter. Our oil is mixed in. Now the next thing we are going to add in is our pumpkin. Yes, so this is just canned pumpkin. Do not get like pumpkin pie filling. It looks very similar to pumpkin puree, but it's like very different. 1 can of pumpkin is like 2 cups, so you are going to have to like measure it out. But please keep the leftover pumpkin. You can make pumpkin spice lattes. You can do a lot of stuff with the leftover. So now we can mix in the pumpkin. So we're going to whisk in our granulated sugar. Even though this is like a dry ingredient, it goes in with the wet ingredients. I don't make the rules. So just add some sugar in to make this like extra rich, extra like, we are going to add in some brown sugar. So brown sugar going in. And then just to add that really good vanilla flavor, we are going to be adding in some vanilla extract. Shocker. Pour that in. And now we can whisk this until everything is combined. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Okay, so all of our sugar and vanilla is whisked in. So now we need to take the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients and combine them. The two worlds are colliding. And now I'm just going to gently mix this together. When you are making a bread recipe or a muffin recipe like this, you need to be gentle. Just like, don't put a lot of weight on your like hand, if that makes sense. Like stir it just like lightly. Okay, so we have completely mixed in the dry ingredients. It is totally okay if there are like a few lumps in there. You don't want to work it to the point where it's like totally smooth. So I'm just going to stop right here. And now I'm just going to pour the batter into our pan. This looks amazing. Okay, so our batter is in the pan. I'm just going to give it like a quick little shimmy shake to just level it out. But we still have to do one more thing. Make the topping. So one of the things that makes the Starbucks pumpkin bread really unique is that little crunchy topping that they put on top. So you are going to need to grab some pumpkin seeds. You're gonna measure out 3 tablespoons and then give them like a rough chop. You don't have to be like perfect and you don't want them to be like super fine. Just give them like a rough chop to like get them like a little chopped. And we have to add some things into here. We're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of honey. Yeah, this might take like years. Okay, 72 years later, I think I got most of it out, so. And then we're just going to add in a little bit of vegetable oil and then give this a stir until the oil and the honey have like completely coated the pumpkin seeds. So I'm just going to sprinkle the pumpkin seed mixture right on top of the pumpkin loaf. You wanna try and do this as evenly as possible, but if you mess up, you can just call it like rustic. I'm gonna pop this into the oven for around like 55 to 65 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this was in the oven for like 65 minutes. We're going to let this chill out in the pan for 20 minutes. Okay, so the bread has been sitting here for like 20 minutes. So now it's time to take it out of the pan. Oh my gosh, it's happening. Yay. Now we are just going to let this cool completely and then we will slice into it. Yay. Okay, so our pumpkin bread has been cooling for like a little bit. Is it completely cool? No. Is it still a little bit warm? Yeah. So before I cut into it, I just wanted to show you all how it looks. It looks so good, but let's see how this looks on the inside. Boom. Oh my gosh, you all, look at that texture. This looks amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm like so proud of this. Wow. Okay, you all, we are like finally done. Like finally. So let's see how this is. Oh, not this being an exact copycat. Oh, this is it. We get that crunch from the pumpkin seed topping. It is so moist. Ugh, I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera, but I hope you all loved this video. If you did, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm at @ThePatrickMeyer, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.